Antonio Brown, talented football player, terrible person. His antics have been logged for years on a Reddit post called the Antonio Brown Circus thread. Today, we're going to read this encyclopedia. Let's dig in. My voice is going to be hoarse by the time I get halfway through this list, so you guys just bear with me. We're going back to his college days, and it's the first entry on the list. Let's begin. Kicked out of Florida International University after fighting a security guard. That's pretty minor. I had added some context to all these. This occurred just before his freshman season even started, forcing him to transfer to Central Michigan as a walk-in. So before the pro career even started, he's already off a team. Okay, number 2. And I'm just going to interrupt myself. These are not in chronological order, but don't touch me, I'm the franchise. Reportedly shouted at Steelers management and coaching staff during a team meeting, signaling his shift from team player to superstar persona. Don't touch me, I'm the franchise. Okay, we're warming up. Took a personal stretch limo to a charity event, rejected expensive wine, and refused to pay. The incident occurred at a 2012 Home Run Derby charity event. The chef, Nicholas Ambrosio, later sued over $40,000 in unpaid services. We're still on the first page. Threw fits over not getting enough targets. These were the Steeler days. Often seen pouting on the sidelines or leaving the field early during games where the ball wasn't coming his way. Most notably during the 2018 season. That's mediocre. Drove 100 miles an hour down McKnight Road in Pittsburgh, where the speed limit is 45 miles an hour. He was cited for reckless driving in his black Porsche just hours before a Thursday night football game against the Panthers. So maybe he was late to the game. He had to double the speed limit. Okay. These aren't terrible yet, but they get terrible. Trashed a condo and threw furniture out of the 14th floor window. The lawsuit alleged that a large vase and a heavy ottoman landed feet away from a 22-month-old child and his grandfather. That's dangerous. Okay. Now this one upsets me as an animal lover. Killed a home aquarium full of piranhas and refused to pay the installer. A custom tank designer sued him for nearly $27,000, claiming Antonio Brown failed to pay for the installation and subsequent maintenance. Now that's a scumbag move. Okay, we're getting back to the football field. As you see, we're on and off the field. There's just so much drama in this guy's life, and we're only on the first page. Refused to play Week 17 for the Steelers after a heated dispute with Ben. During practice, Brown went AWOL and showed up to Heinz Field expecting to play despite not practicing all week. Now, Ben, that's also a terrible person. That's another video. We're not going to get into that. Those two maybe just fight each other to the death, and if they both lose, then we're all winners. Dyed his mustache blonde. Debuted the look during an Instagram Live in early 2019, famously coinciding with his New Year, New Me rebrand. Now, I actually like the mustache. I thought it was pretty hip. If I had more hair and I could dye something like that, I'd probably go for it, but I'm not going to knock him for this one. This is A-okay in my book. And we're on the last one of page 1. Refused to pay a chef because he was threatened by a fish head in the freezer. The chef, and I'm going to butcher this name, no pun intended, Stefano Tedeschi, claimed the head was meant for a soup base, but Brown interpreted it as a Godfather-style threat and kicked the chef out without paying. Page 2. Farted on a doctor. Farted on a doctor. He farted on a doctor. I'm gonna skim over the notes for that one, and we'll move on. Demanded a trade from the Steelers, utilized social media to force his way out of Pittsburgh, eventually landing a trade to the Oakland Raiders, which later backfires on him. Became Mr. Big Chest. Announced his new nickname during an Instagram Live session, insisting that the median fans refer to him only as MBC. And I don't got that small of a chest either, but I don't go around calling myself MBC. Threw a fit over Juju Smith-Schuster winning team MVP. Publicly mocked Juju on Twitter for a critical fumble against the Saints, despite Juju being one of his biggest supporters. Now that's just scummy teammate behavior. Allegedly nixed a trade to the Bills. This one was new to me. The Raiders trade was almost a Bills trade until Brown reportedly stated he would not report to Buffalo, effectively killing the deal. I can't imagine why Antonio Brown would not want to go to Buffalo during the winter to play football. That's not a knock against Buffalo Bills fans. I think that's a great franchise and great fan base. But you guys lucked out by not getting Antonio Brown, so the Oakland Raiders were not so lucky. Now here, just like the dyed mustache, this one's actually pretty boss. Showed up to Raiders training camp in a hot air balloon. A theatrical entrance to Napa Valley that set the tone for one of the most chaotic training camps in NFL history. And if you watch Hard Knocks on HBO, that was a legendary series. That was a legendary season. How were you not entertained by that? But the hot air balloon, I'm not knocking them. If I could show up to work in a hot air balloon, you're damn right I'd do it. Helmet holdout. This is the same time period. Refused to practice because the NFL outlawed his Shoot Air XP1 model for being over 10 years old and failing safety tests. Now, this caused him to miss some of his Oakland Raiders training camp, and that was just part of the debacle of that Hard Knocks season. Same season, froze his feet, used a French cryotherapy chamber without proper footwear, resulting in several frostbite and peeling skin that kept him off the practice field. And I'm sorry for showing you this footage. I've had 5 knee surgeries. I've done cryotherapy. I speak highly on it, but you kind of have to be responsible. You can't fall asleep with the stuff on your feet or on your skin. How does a professional athlete not know that? I play racquetball and I do that. Get your together, Antonio. Same Hard Knocks season. He tried to paint over his old helmet. In a desperate attempt to keep his preferred gear, he reportedly used a DIY paint job to make the old helmet look new. There's a lot more to go, so grab a drink of water, like and comment, subscribe. I enjoy going back and forth with everybody in the comments section, so if one of these has jumped out at you and you want to talk about it more, hit me up in the comments and let's go at it. And go get back to the list. Acquired a newer version of the same helmet. The NFL refused it. The NFL clarified that the specific model itself was no longer certified regardless of the year that it was made. So dude had his helmet banned, repainted it to make it look new. They didn't accept that. Then he found a newer version of the same model, and that one was denied by the NFL as well. So this is all that Hard Knocks Raiders season. Finally, picked a new helmet and showed up to the Raiders training camp. After losing 2 grievances against the league, he finally settled on a Zenith Shadow model. Then he got fined by the Raiders for not attending camp. And this is where it starts to snowball. GM Mike Mayock issued a letter notifying Brown of nearly $54,000 in fines for unexcused absences. We're picking up speed here. He tweeted the fines, posted the confidential fine letter on Instagram with the caption, "Hate me now, shame on me." The next page, the Mayock confrontation. Now, I don't use derogatory terms, but since I'm one, I will use this one. It's called the Cracker Incident. Brown reportedly threatened to hit Mayock in the face. Now remember, Mike Mayock was the general manager of the Raiders at the time. He threatened him. He threatened to hit him in the face and had to be physically restrained by teammate Fontez. Perfect. Sorry, NFL fans, I don't know that name. But this is all that same Hard Knocks season. Then he released a video with audio of John Gruden. Now, John Gruden was the head coach of the Oakland Raiders at the time. The Never Quit video featured a private phone call where Gruden pleaded with Brown to stop and just play football. Now, being from California, knowing California laws, it's illegal to unknowingly record somebody, and it's a big privacy issue, and Antonio Brown just didn't give shit. Okay, so this is all that Raiders turmoil. He then demanded a release from the Raiders, and this is where you get that Grandma I'm Free video, which if you haven't seen it, requested his release on Instagram after the Raiders fined him again and voided $29 million in guaranteed money. Grandma I'm Free filmed a viral video of himself running through his backyard, shouting with joy the moment he received word that he was let go from the Raiders. The Burning Village one, that's kind of we'll skip over that. We're going back to Mike Mayock, the GM of the Oakland Raiders. Antonio Brown liked a tweet about Mayock getting assaulted, an extremely aggressive move on social media that signaled the bridges with the Raiders management were permanently burned. So surprise, Antonio Brown not welcome back to the Oakland Raiders. He then signed with, of all teams, the New England Patriots, and moved into the house of Tom Brady. Brady offered his home to help Brown acclimate to the team and stay out of trouble, which lasted 2 weeks. We'll move it to the sexual assault allegations. I'm not going to make fun of this because this is serious stuff. His former trainer alleging multiple incidents of sexual assault and rape. So that's some serious stuff. We go from sexual assault allegations to sexual harassment allegations. This one's from Sports Illustrated. A woman hired to paint a mural in Antonio Brown's home alleged he exposed himself to her. This article triggered his downfall in New England. Associated with that, he threatened a witness via group text and included pictures of the women's children, which the Patriots viewed as witness intimidation. He was then released by the New England Patriots. He played one game and had one touchdown. We're jumping back to some funny, just goofy behavior now. The online homework outsourcing. The dude enrolled at Central Michigan for courses and literally asked his Twitter followers to do his assignments for him. I don't see a problem with that one. The Saints music video, Entourage, I don't know much about this one. It seems kind of harmless. If anybody knows more about it, if it's juicy, let me know in the comments. I'll just kind of skip over this one and probably go to my favorite one. No More White Women 2020. A bizarre New Year's resolution tweet that was widely criticized and eventually deleted. Now in my friend group, this meme just bounced around in our group text for weeks, and it's kind of infamous in my circles, so I like that one. No More White Women 2020. Gummy Dicks and the Hollywood PD. During a domestic dispute, Brown filmed himself shouting slurs at police and throwing a bag of dick-shaped gummies at the police officers. Okay. The battery case. Moving truck incident. Allegedly attacked a moving truck driver over a payment dispute. Brown eventually turned himself into the Broward County Jail wearing a suit. He also had a fake COVID-19 card. That's not very surprising. Who didn't at that time? So we're moving off the list for a little bit to talk seriously, because I know a lot of people are familiar with the insane football hit that Antonio Brown took in his Pittsburgh Steelers days. And a lot of people think that brain trauma has caused some of his issues. If it does or doesn't, the guy still was a bit of a scumbag prior to that incident, but let's catch up to where he's at today. And let's rewind a few years to 2022 in Dubai, where the infamous Armani Hotel incident happens, where he's with a woman, pulls down his pants in the hotel pool, and reveals everything that he has. Another sexual assault claim. Just add that one to the list. And then we fast forward 2 more years, 2024, where, to the surprise of no one, Antonio Brown declares bankruptcy and claims only $50,000 in assets. Now, we move to present day almost. There's another incident in Miami. It's a celebrity boxing event. Antonio Brown allegedly gets into a scuffle with a man. Later that night, he sees the man and grabs a gun from a security guard and fires 2 shots at the man. Fortunately, it only grazed his neck, but an attempted murder charge was filed in Florida against Antonio Brown. Trying to elude this, he does what a sane person would do and jumps over to Dubai to hide out. Unfortunately for him, he's expedited and returned to the United States, where he is booked and charged with attempted murder, which brings us to today. He's out on bail. Now that brings us to a very sudden end to the video. The list probably isn't complete as far as Antonio Brown goes. There'll probably be multiple entries on that list, if not this year, then the following years. But it's a tremendous downfall for a talented player who could still be playing in the NFL today had he had his head on a good pair of shoulders. As fans, we like to hold our heroes to standards that not all of them can maintain. But Antonio Brown didn't even try. The guy seemed to be a clown. He never seemed to take anything seriously. He thought he would always escape and get off scot-free. And it looks like life has eventually caught up to him. Now maybe there'll be a redemption to his story, or maybe it gets worse. Time will tell. We're almost halfway through 2026 and his attempted murder case is still pending. How that plays out, we'll see. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. There are some laughs. There are some head-scratching moments. There are definitely some detrimental stories that were told there. And I apologize if I offended anybody or if me making light of any of these events has caused anybody any issues. It's not my intent. Hopefully all the victims are getting on with their life just fine. And hopefully some of our stars and more talented people in the world take their positions more seriously and set an example for the younger kids out there. If you like this video, please please subscribe. As I said before, I'll engage with everybody in the comments. Just try not to be a weirdo. Try not to be an Antonio Brown. Try to be a good person. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys on the next one.